Beaver's Italian Feast. An ASMR adventure once upon a time in Regina, Canada, a curious and food-loving beaver decided to embark on an adventure to the heart of Italy. The beaver had heard so much about the delightful cuisine in Rome and couldn't wait to experience it firsthand. Chapter 1. The journey begins. The beaver was busy in his cozy room, excitedly packing his suitcase for the trip. With his passport, clothes, and a few essentials carefully placed in the suitcase, he looked around one last time before heading to the airport. The beaver was full of anticipation as he imagined all the delicious food awaiting him in Italy. At Toronto Airport, the beaver stood eagerly at the departure gate, clutching his boarding pass and passport. The signs and bustling crowds around him only heightened his excitement. He was ready for the adventure of a lifetime. Chapter 2. A surprising welcome in Rome. After a long flight, the beaver finally arrived at Leonardo da Vinci Fiumicino Airport in Rome. His first stop was a cafe where he hoped to grab a warm cappuccino. However, as he approached the counter, the barista informed him with a gentle smile that no cappuccino or espresso was served after 7 p.m. The beaver was taken aback. How could there be no coffee in Italy? Mildly shocked and confused, he decided to head to his hotel instead. Chapter 3. A taste of Rome. The beaver checked into a cozy hotel room with a stunning view of the Colosseum lit up against the night sky. Feeling hungry, he eagerly looked over the menu and decided to order his first Italian meal, spaghetti. As the steaming plate of spaghetti arrived, the beaver twirled the pasta around his fork and took his first bite. The flavors danced on his tongue, and he couldn't help but close his eyes in delight as he slurped up a long strand of spaghetti. With each bite, the beaver became more enamored with the dish. Soon, his face had a little bit of tomato sauce on it, but he didn't care. He was too busy savoring the delicious meal. Chapter 4. More, please. Not satisfied with just one plate, the beaver grabbed the phone and eagerly ordered more spaghetti. Soon, a pile of plates filled with spaghetti arrived, and the beaver dug in with gusto, twirling the pasta around his fork and enjoying each mouthful. As the night wore on, the beaver's energy began to wane. He had eaten so much that he was nearly falling asleep at the table, surrounded by empty plates. His eyes drooped, and he could hardly keep his head up. Chapter 5. The late-night craving. Despite his exhaustion, the beaver suddenly had a craving for coffee. He picked up the phone again and called the receptionist, hoping to get a cup of coffee to help him stay awake. But to his dismay, the receptionist informed him that no coffee was served at this hour. The beaver was shocked. His eyes widened, and he stared into space, unable to believe what he had just heard. No coffee? In Italy? How could that be? Epilogue. A lesson in timing. As the beaver finally accepted that he would have to wait until morning for his coffee, he leaned back in his chair, surrounded by the remnants of his epic meal. Though he was disappointed, he couldn't help but smile at the adventure he'd had so far. He had experienced the joys of Italian cuisine, learned a lesson about Italian coffee culture, and made memories that would last a lifetime. The beaver closed his eyes, content and full, knowing that tomorrow would bring new experiences and, perhaps, that long-awaited cup of coffee.